trying to do that.
See, I knew Zach Wild was on here.
You did. Yes, you did say that. And I
Oh.
didn't know. A lot of guest guitarists on this
Because he
album.
doesn't have guitarists anymore.
He doesn't have a tour anymore.
No, he doesn't. Parkinson's got the best of him.
I don't know. What have I listened to? I think I've listened to Patient Number 9, or I've listened to...
I think Patient Number 9, one of the I've heard the single. The single, the first one off this album, which I'm assuming is Patient Number 9.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Now, it starts with that, and all these feature different guitar players. The first is Jeff Beck, who just passed away, and I have to be 100% honest.
Did he?
Yeah.
Jeff Beck, like 2 weeks ago.
Oh, really? I did not know that.
Yeah. I am completely ignorant of Jeff Beck, other than like the Yardbirds
really?
and things like that. Like, I've never...
Oh, yeah,
I couldn't tell
yeah.
you. I couldn't tell you one Jeff Beck song.
I now recall this. I do remember that when this happened. Yes. He was Yardbirds because he was the
Yardbirds and-
replacement for Clapton, right?
Yeah, and then I think Jimmy Page replaced
Because
him.
can you imagine being in a band and having Eric Clapton as your guitarist, and then Clapton leaves, and you're like, oh my God, who are we gonna get him? Oh, somebody who's better than Eric Clapton. Like no one would ever imagine that's possible.
Yeah, so I mean, like I've been aware of Jeff Beck my whole life
Because the Yardbirds and Beck, I mean, Yardbirds went in the hall, and then Beck went in the hall separately. He's in there twice.
Is he really?
Yeah, because
and this is the second new album. That was true. This is the second new album in the last 3 years.
Right.
From Ozzy. The first one, I can't remember the name of it, but
This was the one he was supposed to tour, but they just canceled.
he just canceled, retired from touring.
Yep.
December, any thoughts before we get into this?
I'm excited. Let's do it. I saw Ozzy. I went to like one of the very first Oz Fests.
Yeah, it was like, what, 95? Something like that?
Yeah.
96?
I feel like we were in Arizona, and Ram's friend was playing with Fight.
Oh, really?
Fight was on the card for Ozfest, and so he's like, "Hey, let's go." I'm
Wow.
like, "Okay, let's go.
Let's go.
It'd be fun.
Let's go."
Let's go, hey.
I have no
Ozzy,
idea what I'm doing, but it's fine. Let's
I
go.
think
and I love
Ozzy
it.
played at Woodstock, too, 99. The last Woodstock they had.
Possible. I
I
mean,
think he did
that
one of those
whole
nights.
that whole festival is full of fucking.
I watched all the documentaries.
All the documentaries,
It's
yeah.
like,
I didn't because I already know all about it,
Oh, it's not
and I
good.
don't need to see it.
Yeah.
Like it just pisses me off.
It just makes me feel more like an ignorant dumbass because I was and still am a huge fan of Limp Bizkit,
Yeah.
and I'm just like, oh
Ew,
man,
right?
I'm
Yeah.
I'm a white
There's
trash
just one song.
college guy.
Just one song.
It's fine.
Just one song.
Just one song. Let's kick off this album. It is the brand new album, Patient Number 9, the title track featuring Jeff Beck. Play. Damn it.
You paused it.
Is there a way out of it? Hey, I love you with
Oh wow. Real Pink Floydy.
It's kind of trippy. He does that a lot, though. He does do trippy.
I feel like he's the original, like, rock and roll shock father, for lack of better words. Just because it was like him, and then like all of the people who came after him, like Marilyn Manson and things like that, who are like, yeah, I was influenced by, all of that.
Because, I mean, obviously the whole bat head biting off thing.
Right.
But, like, him and Alice Cooper, I feel like, are the godfathers of shock rock.
Yeah.
Yeah, Alice probably more.
Yeah.
Alice probably more, or at least earlier.
Yeah,
Because Ozzy wasn't.
He wasn't a shock rocker, but he had more of the weird rocker vibe, you know? Because it was more off stage rather than was on stage. But I would
Right.
say, yeah, but, I mean, hand in hand.
Yeah, it's when he was with Sabbath in the 70s, I don't think he was shocking that much.
He
I
wasn't
think he
shocking. I feel like he was more psychedelic-y, kind of.
Well, I mean, his
He was
voice.
More like a, yeah.
I mean, imagine his voice back in the 70s, and they're the first metal band. It was like, you know, It's weird.
Yeah, but it was like once he left Sabbath and he got fired, and everybody thought he was never gonna do anything.
He got
used
fired from Sabbath.
Yeah.
He didn't.
Yeah.
He didn't step away.
No,
was
he got fired. Yeah, he got fired.
Oh, he got axed.
But nobody thought he was gonna do anything at all, especially with his solo career.
And then he
So
becomes
I mean,
Ozzy.
but I mean, he did. I think he bit the head off that dove in this like record meeting just to try
Record
to
deal.
fuck some shit up, which he was successful doing.
Yeah. Well, did you see the Super Bowl commercial? Hi,
Yeah.
I'm Oswald.
Yeah. I did.
He still sounds good, man. Like I'm sure they do a lot of magic in studio, but man, he still sounds good. And I don't know who makes his albums, but the production is just phenomenal.
Well, Andrew Watt is the producer.
Is he?
Last album too.
Okay. I mean, just listen to that. You can hear every little thing. And don't get me wrong, he surrounds himself with tremendous musicians, but it sounds so good. Oh, and Jeff Beck just ripping. Like that distortion in bass is just so hand in hand tight.
There's an electronic-y aspect that I think Andrew Watt brings.
Okay. I can feel that. It does sound.
He's
more
the
like-
producer. He's like does a lot of pop producers as well. He also worked with Pearl Jam and some other bands.
Oh, okay. I feel like once you get to Ozzy level, like you knock on his door to produce his album.
Well, everybody thought that this was like a weird pairing because Post Malone was on the last one and he did Post Malone,
Right.
Andrew Watt. So that's how the
Yeah.
whole Post Malone
Okay.
kind of pairing sort of happened. But you know, fucking rock and metal fans that are assholes. They're like, "Buh,
Right.
buh," you know.
I mean, it's like if you were to get an R&B or a hip hop someone in there to produce Metallica, guarantee you it'd sound great too. But people would be up in arms about it.
That'd probably be the one where I'm like, no,
Maybe be like, that would be me.
I've had enough.
God,
Yeah, this
that's
is the
so
one I've
good.
heard on
Yeah.
the radio for sure.
Yeah.
I hate even admitting I listen to the radio.
It's so good.
You can edit that part out.
Yeah. Radio? What's radio?
Oh,
What did you do?
I spilled beer all over myself.
Way to go, a-hole. Jesus.
Party foul. He's patient number 9.
I got it all down my sleeve. It's all down my sleeve. Yeah, that's trippy, man.
Solo. Just let Jeff Beck go. Wow. Using a tremolo.
Leave this song going. I'm gonna go change my shirt.
All right.
I wonder, do you think he writes his own songs?
So, Ozzy?
Yeah.
That's a good question.
Like if he is, he's still a tremendous writer if he is.
In my heart,
I want him
deep
to.
down in my black heart, I want to say yes.
But I can't
He's
imagine.
not.
In reality,
He doesn't really, for the most part. I don't think.
You know?
I don't think he has like a team of songwriters.
Right.
I just think there's a couple guys that'll help him out.
Right.
Like, for instance, I know on like No More Tears,
Yeah.
Lemmy from Motorhead mainly wrote like a bunch of that shit.
Really?
Mom, I'm Coming Home.
That's my favorite Ozzy album.
I just want to see now.
Because whoever writes his songs, man, you're good.
Writers
you're
are
good.
writers. Okay, so writers are pretty much everybody that's playing. Duff McKagan, Robert Trujillo from Metallica, Chad Smith from the Chili Peppers also on this track. Robert Trujillo playing bass.
Really?
But they all came up as writers. Andrew Watt also as a writer. Ozzy is credited as a writer.
What's
on most
Duff
of this.
playing then? So they have two guitarists in there?
Is Zach Wild?
Zach Wild's a bunch on the. He's in the.
No, he's
on
in a
bunch
different
of-
track.
Is he a writer on it?
He is on his tracks that he appeared in, but I don't know yet. I haven't got down that far
Okay.
yet.
All right.
All
Okay.
right.
So this was basically an Ozzy tribute album with Ozzy on it.
Kind of.
I mean, kind of.
He
but
just
I
has
mean,
a bunch of guests playing with him.
Well, that's kind of what he did last time, I think.
Really?
Yeah, but I feel like these guests are more personal. Like he
Right.
and Zach Wild are like
Right. Yeah. I get
You know
that.
what I
It's like
mean?
brother and
And-
son, or
right,
son
and Jeff Beck,
son and dad.
Right.
because Zach played with him for years.
Years.
I mean, Ozzy made Zach Wild.
Yeah.
Who is deafer than holy hell.
Oh, I'm sure.
Oh, he is deaf.
He's been through the rock and roll battles, man. I like this.
A lot of change-ups. So what's Duff play though? Because you said Chad
Duff
Smith's
plays on the next track.
Oh, okay.
Which is
So he just got a bunch of metal buddies
Immortal?
together.
Yeah.
Yeah, Immortal.
Okay.
So he just got a bunch of rock buddies together and they just made an album, which is super cool. Yeah, because Clapton's on track 5.
Yeah.
I would love to
No,
hear
he's
Clapton.
not.
Yes, he is.
Yeah, he is.
Oh, I was looking at the writers. He wasn't a writer, but he is on there.
I want to hear Clapton play metal.
We will. I would never even consider Ozzy metal.
What?
Yeah. I don't consider Ozzy metal.
How would you categorize?
He's just rock and roll. He's just he's heavy
Rock
rock.
and roll? I guess I could get that, but I feel like the guitar, like Zach, I don't know.
Yeah, we're gonna flow into Immortal, featuring Mike McCready from Pearl Jam and co-written by Duff McKagan, who I assume is playing bass on here, who was credited as one of the writers along with Chad Smith and Andrew Watt and whoever the fuck Ali Temposi is.
Probably his ghostwriter.
I wouldn't mind hearing some Mike McCready shredding on this. There's Duff.
Yeah,
That just sounds like a Guns N'
Yeah,
Roses bass
it does.
play right there.
he does.
Yeah.
Wow, McCready going off.
Have you guys ever seen Pearl Jam live before?
He has.
Yeah, I drove out to Montana a few years ago to see him.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's fucking awesome.
I have not.
It's so good. We went to Wrigley. The first time I've ever seen him, we went out to Chicago and saw him in Wrigley. Holy shit.
Yeah, no. I saw him at
See, here's my
in
thing.
Montana, but I saw Pearl Jam at Wrigley.
Here's my thing about Pearl Jam is I love and respect them, but the thing was when I was coming into music, my year of turning music and music really catching me was 97.
Okay.
But I knew of Nirvana. I had Nirvana's I had Nirvana cassette, but I was not truly into that early 90s explosion of grunge, until
I get
now when
that.
I could appreciate it. And now when I want to go see them, it's like I'm not going to pay that much for a ticket. I'll leave it for you guys to go see them because you have more connection to it than I do, per se.
No, it's they honestly they of all of the 4 grunge bands. What was it? Let me check in your code out.
Check my code out.
Of all of the grunge bands, the one that's still around is Pearl Jam, and that have stayed consistent, that have stayed fucking around. You
what
know?
would you consider Chili Peppers though? Chili Peppers, not grunge, more
Man,
punk?
Chili Peppers were like a funk grunge though. They were definitely a different category. Like we're talking about categories, but they were definitely something different, and that's one reason why Chili Peppers have hung around so long.
Yeah.
They're their own thing. They're
Yeah.
the Chili Peppers. You know?
I mean-
they
I
just
mean,
sound like the Chili Peppers.
What was it, Blood Sugar Magic?
Sex Magic, yeah.
Yeah, like that album was something different because it had everything on it. It had
was so
funk,
good.
it had hip hop, it had rock. Like it was very different. It
I
had that.
remember when
had a
somebody
ballad.
they slid me the cassette of it. They're like, "You got to listen to this." And I'm all like, "But do I?" They're like, "No, you really have to." And I was like, "Oh my god, this is so good."
I stayed away from the album for a long time because my sister liked it. All right, keep it going.
Okay, sorry.
All right. Hi, Lenny. Sniffing my socks. Wow. That was a very poppy sound to that. I can
part?
definitely hear the synth in his voice in this one compared to other Ozzy tracks,
Yeah, a little bit.
but it's making it a bit more poppy. I wonder if he probably can't hit these notes that McCready's hitting.
I definitely feel like I hear some assist in there
Yeah.
somewhere.
Sounds good though.
Like, had I not seen Mike McCready's name on this, I would not have guessed it was
That was
him.
McCready. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's some, ooh, a little screeching harmonic there.
And I wonder if McCready does that because he knows Zach Wilde does it, so he wants to give his
Yeah.
Zach Wilde little
Right,
signature
right,
in there, you
right.
know.
Yeah.
I mean, listen to that solo though. That solo's nasty. See, you know what I wonder too? If you don't hear McCready sound like this on Pearl Jam albums, like the guitar sound,
Yeah.
I wonder if they plug into Ozzy's amps or have it set to a certain sound that would go with Ozzy, and then they just have him play, and this is what comes out. Because I guarantee you, McCready's doesn't have a sound like that for a Pearl Jam album, you know?
Right. Well, I know he over the last few years they've actually done some like fucked around with some like live Van Halen like eruption
Right.
and shit on stage.
Yeah.
So I think he's
He's
been embracing
capable,
that a little bit as they get older. The next song, Parasite,
sad.
does have Zach Wilde and Taylor Hawkins on drums.
Oh, really?
Oh,
When did this come out?
Just last year,
Right.
September. No, wait. Yeah, September.
And Taylor passed away in December, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's Zach. Yeah. He has a heavy Les Paul, man.
God damn it, that fucking Rob I think Rob Trujillo's playing bass on this whole thing too, and you can hear it.
Oh, this is a good tune.
I can't even imagine how excited Taylor was to play on this.
Right?
What's that? What's that, December?
I said I can't even imagine how excited Taylor
Taylor
was to play on this because he was
I
such
know.
a huge Ozzy fan.
I know.
You know?
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to laugh. I was just gonna laugh at how awkward you made that for a second here.
That's fine.
No, I mean, he would be a kid in a candy shop
Absolutely.
because it's Zach, it's Ozzy.
Right.
And you know, I have not even watched that Foo Fighters movie yet because I don't want to watch it. I don't want to watch Taylor Hawkins die in it.
Oh yeah, I saw it in the theaters when it came out.
I know. I don't want to watch it now.
It's so good.
It's so good.
It was so good. It was so Foo Fighters. Okay, so far this is my favorite.
Yeah, this is a good one. Oh. That's definitely more of a pop feel than I thought it'd take. Oof. Yeah, that's dirty.
There's definitely different little production effects in there.
Yeah, they definitely made
Yeah.
Zakk Wylde much more electronic than normal. But you can hear how clean Zakk is, man. He's so good. Like, you can just tell the difference when they're good at their craft. It's just so smooth, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can just hear it. It just sounds effortless, you know?
And Taylor's timing on that, when he cuts into this chorus, he kicks it up an extra time, so the time's a little bit different, it's a little quicker. And I think that gives it that Foo Fighter pop sound to it.
Yeah. That could have a lot to do with it, too.
Yeah. Because the verses are definitely cut different, but when they go in the chorus, it has that Foo Fighter drum sound
Yeah.
to it.
Yeah.
Like, there's a
Yeah.
certain sound to it.
There you go.
Yep, Zakk Wylde. Yeah, signature Zakk. That Dimebag Darrell influence.
God.
Ooh. Add a little acoustic. I like that. The old Taylor Hawkins drum roll. See, and then there's that step up. He goes a little faster.
Hear those backup vocals in there?
All right.
You hear that?
I'll be right back.
All right.
Okay, do you hear those backup vocals?
Yeah.
In there? It's a really nice fucking harmonies.
So what I'm getting is either they have processed it where they just took his voice again and moved it up an octave, or he is singing. They're double vocaling him, so he is sung over twice, or backing vocals.
Sure.
So they have double, but there's something to it because there's a low part and a high part, and I can't figure it out if it's machine or if he has done that, if they've done that with him singing twice.
It's as for as cool parts as I've heard so far. There really hasn't been much to stick out to me.
Right, okay.
Being like a cool riff or a cool dynamic. I don't know if a lyric has really hit me yet. Lyrics. Were lyrics ever Ozzy's big strength? I don't
No.
think so.
I mean-
even though he didn't write a lot of songs, he didn't write.
I mean,
He wrote a lot of songs, but you know what I mean.
But the album that I always think that he had the best lyrics on were No More Tears. 'Cause
Yeah.
those were some of his better storytelling songs.
Yeah, I don't know. Like Diary of a Madman to me, I really loved Osmosis and No More Tears. But it's just like Ozzy has never been like the artist
he's not
to
the
hit me with
lyricist,
lyrics.
right.
I mean, Geezer Butler wrote primarily most of the lyrics in Black Sabbath.
Okay.
You know, and then there was a lot of, I don't want to say a lot of other writers writing lyrics, but I think you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, I get it.
All right.
And I think that's what we kind of established is he's
What's
not.
that?
We've kind of established is he probably didn't write the majority of the stuff on this album.
Yeah, no. But he has, it's like he's got a different band for each song writing stuff. So
Right.
it's not like you brought in a bunch of writers.
Right.
You brought in a bunch of your buddies to write songs together. That's a little different.
Right. That's by far my favorite song so far, though.
I like it.
It's a good tune.
Now the one featuring Tony Iommi.
Oh, that was. I like worms.
I thought he said awkward.
Oh,
Awkward. No Escape From Now featuring Tony Iommi.
that Parasite song would hit. Oh.
Where we at?
We are on No Escape From Now, the one featuring Tony Iommi, which
Okay.
automatically sounds like one of the Sabbath songs from like the last Sabbath album, 13. I want to say, I think, is it God Is Dead? Question mark, or is God dead? Question mark. It sounds like that song,
Yeah,
Right.
it does.
kind of immediately.
Yeah.
Just from the vocal delivery.
Yeah, I can see that. Or hear it. I guess I can't see it. Ooh.
That fucking bass too, though.
Yeah, Rob did most of the bass on this, huh?
I don't know if he is on this or not, but
Ooh, that's funky. I gotta look this album up now.
Andrew Watt's playing bass on this, actually.
What?
Yeah.
So the singles were Patient Number 9, Degradation Rules, Nothing Feels Right, One of Those Days, and 1,000 Shades. How did you see that?
If you go to the personnel on the album, Josh Homme from Queens of the Stone Age is playing guitar on this album.
Yeah, that would be cool for him. I bet you're stoked about that.
Honestly, that bass is fucking thunder. That's part of my favorite shit so far on this album.
Yeah. Yeah, who's Andrew?
Wow. Bringing that back a little bit. I like that.
Oh, he has a different name.
Like, honestly, I think this coming up is the most, I want to say, like, vital sounding Ozzy. Just hitting a note
Right, yeah.
that I've fucking heard in a while. Right there. Just right there. Just
And
that
that's-
little bit.
It's that gravelly, not screaming, but
Yeah.
harder Ozzy that you know from old. So Andrew Watt's real name is Andrew Wattman?
Sure.
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 If you say so, then yes.
Well, I was WOTMAN is his last name. It says Andrew Wattman. I was like, who's that? I clicked on it. It says Andrew Watt. I was like, oh.
All right, then.
Ooh. That little click into him hitting that solo,
Yeah.
that was nasty.
Oh, look at Lemmy making the guest appearance.
Yep. Lemmy's finally used to me.
No, he's not. No, he's not. He's getting there, though.
He's like, Dad, I smell dogs on this guy.
Right. Ugh.
Man, that's kind of dirty and fun.
Little change. Ooh.
What's
So
one
far,
about-
this is my favorite. What's that, December?
This is 1,000 Shades.
No
Escape from now.
Oh, No Escape from Now.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, so yeah.
Yeah. I'm actually very shocked that this won a Grammy. Not that it's not bad. It's just an album like this I would not think of them giving a Grammy to.
Well, did you see in the Grammys when Beyonce won like some award or whatever, and then it was like she was like the most nominated person or whatever?
Yeah, she won the most awards ever or something like that.
Right, exactly. And if you look, there's like a video going around on the internet, and Diplo is talking to somebody, and he goes, "They paid for that." It's like, oh,
They paid for
They
that.
paid for that.
it's like, damn.
I'm so like past it thinking the Grammys have any relevance.
Right.
Me too.
You know? Because that's just another turned into a pop show.
For the main categories, yes, but it shows other categories like obviously like video game music. They don't get awards for anything. So the honor,
Right, but they also don't televise that, right?
Which I think is bullshit.
they don't televise some of it. Hers, the girl that I'm interviewing, I believe hers was televised. There's video to it. The Grammys put it up there, so I don't know if it was on the main show or if it was like a side show beforehand or something.
I feel like they should at least like live stream something like that.
And they
or-
might have. I don't know where you would find it, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is horseshit to me. The
Yeah.
fact that you have categories that actually matter for stuff, but you're just giving it to obviously the ones that the people
Yeah.
want.
Right.
Because I don't even think they show the rock ones.
They don't at all.
No. Not at all.
And the rock and roll nowadays is just,
Yeah,
it
it's
sounds
not
like
rock
an old
and roll.
fuddy-duddy, but it's just like
Yeah.
this alternative
Yeah.
pop shit.
Or
that
like
is-
they had the best.
Not even sound like an old funny
They had like the
guy.
best
So-
metal album. Like remember what was like the best metal album one year went to like Jethro Tull.
Yeah.
yeah, that was the first year. That was the first year that the metal Grammy was introduced, and they fucking beat Metallica.
Yeah,
won
Jethro
it.
Tull won.
Metallica won. It lost to fucking Jethro Tull. You're like, what kind of goddamn travesty is this?
I will say though, Korn won a Grammy for that album that I gave you, Life is Peachy.
Did they
okay,
really?
yeah.
Yeah, they won a Grammy.
I can see
for
that. Now we'll go into One of These Days featuring Eric Clapton.
I want to hear Clapton play some harder rock.
I doubt this is going to be a metal song.
You never know. What if Clapton just comes out and
I feel
shreds?
like, no, I feel like this is gonna be like a Mama I'm Coming Home type of.
I mean, it's got that feel already.
You can hear that Clapton though,
Yep.
Yeah.
while his guitar gently weeps.
So good.
Yeah.
So good.
Have you heard this before?
What?
Have you heard this before?
No, I
She was
haven't.
just saying Clapton was so good.
Oh, okay.
I'm saying Clapton is so good.
I thought you were like, this is so good, and I thought you had heard it before.
Oh, no.
Yeah, man.
Clapton is so good.
That cocaine song, it was great. I never would have thought Ozzy and Clapton.
It makes so much sense though.
It does.
They're the same goddamn age
They've done the same drugs.
at the same parties.
They've shared.
Why hasn't this happened sooner?
Yeah, there's.
I mean, you think about the similarities between Cream and Black Sabbath. They weren't that far off.
No.
No. Not,
know
in
what
the,
I
not in
mean?
the later years with Black Sabbath.
Even the early years, the earliest years with Black Sabbath, probably even more so.
I wouldn't say Cream was like anything like Paranoid.
No, but it was blues, rock and roll.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
essentially what Black Sabbath was too.
Especially in their later album. Yeah, when they go into the chorus with that other distortion, there's not much Clapton. It's more organ, but Clapton rips the. I love how it's call and answer. Ozzy will
Yeah.
call out, then Clapton answers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, his guitar sounds so big. It
So
sounds so
good.
big you can't notice that it's like that heavy guitar. It just sounds completely different. But yeah, the call and repeat or the call and
Man,
answer is cool.
You can just hear. I love it when you can just hear those guitar players. You're like, oh, that's him. Oh, that's him.
Yeah.
Oh, that's him.
Yep.
Or that's her, or whatever.
Yep. That's how you know you're good at your craft, when somebody can pick you out of a song.
Yeah.
Or someone says, that sounds like Clapton. It is Clapton.
That's because it is.
You know who I'm sad I never got was Eric Clapton and Chris Cornell.
Oh, yeah.
As a collaboration.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could. Yeah.
I could see
Just
that.
something. Chris Cornell's vocals was just kind of like that callback like they're doing here now.
Yeah.
You know, something like that. Oh.
You know, actually, one thing I was thinking about, because Linkin Park has new music out.
They do. Oh yeah, it's posthumous. I did hear about
Yes,
that.
it's stuff that they never released, which
Yeah.
it does sound really good. I was so happy Chester got to be STP. Like,
Yeah.
he was a lead singer for Stone Temple Pilots. I was like, if there was a singer that came
Yeah.
any close to what STP could do, it was Chester. And I'm
Yeah.
so happy he got to make
Yeah.
music with them, because it was so
Yeah.
good. I don't know what they're doing with Clapton's guitar here, but it just sounds massive. I don't know if
I
it's the
don't
type
know
of
if he's
guitar
on-
he's using or what. But
I don't know that he's actually playing guitar. And I think he might just be taking over those lead parts that we're hearing.
just the answers. Because whoever's playing guitar here, it's got to be Clapton, because here's my thing on it. So between the guitars that you hear others playing, they have built-in heavy stuff for those guitars, so it sounds more metal, more rock, whatever you want to call it. Clapton has more of a bluesy jazz
There's
Stratocaster.
Andrew Watt on guitar in this track, as well as Eric
Really?
Clapton and Duff McKagan on bass on here.
Okay. But Clapton uses a Telecaster, which isn't necessarily known for heavier metal sounds. So if you were to distort it, it just sounds bigger.
Okay.
So that's why I'm thinking they. If
I
he's
mean,
playing
probably he very well could have.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just not sure.
But Clapton's guitar, signature guitar, and guitar sounds are not exactly metal. But that was a great song.
Now,
like
Thousand Shades, also featuring Jeff Beck. Man, that was one of those times I was glad I was not on the radio when Jeff Beck died. Because I would have had
Yeah.
to speak as somebody who knows what the fuck they're talking about, and I got to go on the air and admit, sorry, guys.
I don't know who Jeff Beck is. Yeah, there's just a lot of reverb, but I think he's double tracking.
I think he's got I don't want to say all sorts of tricks because I don't want to.
Oh, I'm sure he has a bunch of tricks he's learned over the years.
Yeah, he still sounds good though.
Oh, he
man.
does.
He sounds aged, and he sounds like he's been through the ringer because he has.
But you could never. If you were to listen to this
But I
album,
feel like if you don't sound, especially at both of their ages at this time, if you don't sound like you've been through the ringer, it's not genuine.
right?
You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like this album is the most vulnerable I've ever heard Ozzy. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Yes, there's, all of these tricks and stuff that they do, but like lyrically.
Are you talking about? You think lyrically?
Yeah,
Okay.
lyrically. Very like vulnerable and especially like I'm anxious to hear the last 3 tracks: Dead and Gone, God Only Knows, and Dark Side Blues.
Right. Yeah, I could definitely see that. There's a lot. Yeah, I could put a lot with that. It's funny to me that the last 3 tracks, which are just him, are the least listened to tracks too.
I know.
Why does those don't feature anybody?
No.
So those are
No,
still
that's
just those still have like
Studio band.
other writers in that on it.
Oh, sure. Well,
yeah.
absolutely. But I just feel like just putting his name makes it more vulnerable.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
you're just like, oh, ah.
I mean, the titles alone, or at least like Dead and Gone, you know,
Yeah.
it's similar. This album has to be similar to the last couple albums from Johnny Cash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Which were amazing and epic.
Yeah, they were fucking some of the greatest goddamn albums
my
ever.
God.
Shit, he won a Grammy for Hurt. He covered.
Yeah.
he covered
Yeah,
9 Inch Nails and got a Grammy.
right.
And he, to be honest with you, his version is better than 9 Inch Nails' version.
I agree.
It's
Yes,
the
sir.
version that's the version everybody knows. If you play the 9 Inch Nails version
yeah.
on the radio, you got motherfuckers texting, "Who's fucking rooting the Johnny Cash song?"
But that
Not
was
that you
that
let
was
them
a whole
experience at all.
and that
Yeah.
that whole album, well, that whole series of albums, because I think he did like 4 albums, were all covers.
4 of them, yeah.
Yeah,
Pretty
it was
much all of
covers.
them. Yeah, I think he wrote a couple, but mainly covers. Yeah,
And they were tremendous.
But they were all, like I said, they were all like very vulnerable.
Oh,
and,
very
like,
vulnerable.
Lyrically,
And
you're
the-
like, oh, this
what-
is it. This is getting close to the end.
Right, and that's what I got from every song. And every song I got, he made peace with it. I'm fine with it when it's time for me to go.
Yep,
You know,
yep.
but it was very vulnerable. It was like he was
Yeah.
airing all of his dirty laundry out.
Yeah.
I mean, how old is Ozzy? He's got to be 75,
73, 74,
500.
500.
He's no
Like
Keith
100?
Richards.
Honestly, if you were to look at who is more fucked up right now, Ozzy or Keith Richards?
Oh, Ozzy for sure. But we would have said that years ago
But
too.
Keith Richards is just recording another album too with the Stones.
Dude, it's like, what's his face?
The Stones. I don't know how I feel about that.
Oh, but no, here's what I saw. Let's get through this song first.
Keith is 79.
How old's Ozzy?
He's 79.
Here's the thing. I just read that the Stones are recording a new album, but on bass, Paul McCartney, and on drums, Ringo Starr.
Really?
I heard those two sitting in with the Stones for an album.
That'd be cool.
Shut up.
That would actually
Yeah.
be really cool. He is
Yeah.
74.
Ozzy's 74.
They both have December birthdays.
Ah.
December's got a December birthday. What's your birthday, December?
18th.
28th.
November.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
I'm a Valentine's Day conception.
Are you?
November 17th. Anybody who was born around opening day of rifle season in Michigan, you're a Valentine's Day mistake, brother.
Right.
Or Valentine's Day on purpose.
Yeah, that's true. But if you're a hunter, stay away from Valentine's Day.
Mr. Darkness featuring Zach Wilde.
See, I like that. Dude can still sing. There's no way around it. This is like he's hearkening his old self.
Yeah.
This does still have a lot of old Ozzy sound to it, though.
No, it's weird because I keep trying to it's very critical on my behalf, I have to say, and probably way too critical because I just keep trying to find things I don't like about it.
Oh, really?
I keep trying to find things I don't like about it, and I don't know why. I don't know if it's the Andrew Watt production. I don't know if I'm trying to analyze to see if it's overproduced. I don't want to see if they're putting Ozzy's voice through an auto-tuner,
Yeah.
even though it would be completely fucking justified in doing so because he's 74 goddamn years old. I'm trying to figure out why I'm being so fucking critical of this album.
I feel like though because of his age, it's a given. Like
It shouldn't be though.
Right.
No, but it shouldn't be, but it is what it is. Like good, bad, or indifferent. Like I hear the Rolling Stones, and I'm just like, do they still have it? Are they still good? You know what I mean?
Right.
So I feel like it's just a human response.
Yeah, I mean, it's you just. I want him to still have it. I don't know
Right.
what it is. I'm
How many
happy that
times
he's making
though-
albums because I want him to be. I mean, he's fucking Ozzy. He's gonna
Right.
go anytime soon, and if he wants to make an album, you're gonna make a fucking album.
Right.
Right, good, bad, or indifferent. How many times have we? Well, at least me. I'm the eldest of this group.
Oh, barely.
Where I've heard of people, they're like, "Yeah, he's still going," and I'm like, but you shouldn't still be going.
Right.
Like you should bow out gracefully." And so I feel like there's that little bit of apprehension,
But-
no matter who you are in that.
To a lot of these artists though that are still out there and going, the Stones, Ozzy, like all
Yeah.
of these older artists, Paul McCartney, Ringo, whoever you are, there's
Right.
a reason why they're still going though. You know, it's because they have been
No.
doing it well for so long.
Right.
Absolutely.
And how many bands drop off after 10, 15, 20
Yeah.
years, you know? And
Yeah,
then you get new
absolutely.
generations in, but there's only a handful of bands that are still cooking from the 60s and 70s.
There's a
you know?
great quote from the Rush documentary. I can't remember the name of it, but I think Jack Black is on it, and he was like, "You talk about a band and how much awesome sauce they have. Like Rush is a band that has 40 years worth of fucking awesome sauce. You
Right.
know,
Yep.
there's just some bands that don't. You're just like, how long can it last? And if you keep going, you're just treading old ground again, and just kind of
Yeah.
putting out the same thing over and over and over again, which fans of that artist will love. But if you're somebody like me who wants to hear something different from that person, you're like, eh.
Well,
you
that's
know?
the thing is like when you look at Rush, remember in the mid 80s, Rush changed a lot. They went to that mid 80s sound and like their fans hated
They went
it.
all synthy.
Yeah, and then they went back.
Jefferson Airplane did the same thing.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, but they
And
fucking
they
sucked
did
then.
what- Right.
Fuck off, Jefferson Starship. What's the better Jefferson Airplane?
We built this city.
Right,
Fucking Grace Slick.
that's what I'm saying.
And Grace Slick.
Starship
Fuck off with
Airplane.
Mickey Thomas. Whoever the fuck else was in that band.
That was the #1 song when I was born.
I remember it was really popular. And I remember being a kid when that came out, and I hated that song too.
It's also the #1 worst video ever made for music video.
Stop. I love the shoulder pads. What are you talking about?
And in other news, we talk a lot on album reaction.
Yes, we do.
But like when you look at Ozzy, Ozzy's never really strayed from what he's always done well.
Right. No, and I wasn't trying to say that about Ozzy.
No, not at all.
Because that dude.
But that's why he's been around for so long.
Right.
Because he continues to do what he's done for years well.
Right. No, and I wasn't saying that about Ozzy. I think I started a diatribe about like why I was being so critical
Like your
about it.
guttural reaction. But I feel
Yeah.
like it's a human reaction, period. Like how long can you?
You're trying to find something different.
I'm trying to
about
find
what
something
Ozzy's
wrong with
always
it. And
done.
I'm like, why? It's Ozzy. Just leave him alone.
And to be quite honest with you, we're 7 songs deep, and all of these songs have been phenomenal. Like, to be honest with you, with the last 2 or 3 albums I've listened to from Ozzy, this is definitely by far better than the last 2 or 3. my personal
I
opinion.
like it better than the last album. I'll
Yeah.
say that.
Yeah.
There were a couple duds on the last one. And I was just like, eh.
Right. And that's what I expect. That's my natural things. Like, this isn't going to be a front to back amazing album. But this one so far really is. I wonder if he's the oldest to win a Grammy. I wonder who the oldest is to win a
Google it.
Grammy.
Look it up. Who's the oldest Grammy winner?
Oh, it'll be someone like Willie Nelson or.
Oh, yeah, Willie won this year.
Oh,
There
did
you go.
he?
Yes, he did. I bet you he's the oldest. Yeah.
He's another one. Like, I love him.
Bob Dylan, maybe.
Oh yeah, Bob's old. God, really is old. Dude's 90.
Who's 90?
Willie Nelson.
Yeah. Ooh.
God bless his children who like go out and tour with him and
In the hot box,
yeah. Yep.
the traveling hot box.
Hell yeah.
Wait, what?
I really like that change up.
So Tony Bennett won last year in April. He was the second oldest to ever win a Grammy at 95.
Who was the oldest?
I don't know. That's what I'm looking for.
Fucking Tony. That's why the Grammys don't mean shit. Tony Bennett.
I don't know.
Nothing
Did you see his live performance he did, and where like he's like just starting with Alzheimer's, and Lady Gaga came out on the stage, and he was all excited. He's like, "Gaga, it's you!"
The answer is no, because it was Tony Bennett. I didn't know that he had Alzheimer's. Now I feel bad for wanting to mock
And
that.
You
Ozzy?
should. And you should.
Who?
Huh?
Who?
What?
With Parkinson's.
Tony Bennett.
Oh.
Alzheimer's, right?
Alzheimer's, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Pine Top Perkins, 97 years old.
Pine Top Perkins.
Yeah.
Good old Pine Top.
I feel like he should be a reaction or something.
He won in 2011 for Best Traditional Blues Album.
I was going to say blues. It had to be blues.
Yep. Dude, wow, his speech. Dude's looking rough, but he's up there.
Good for him.
He cannot be alive anymore.
Huh?
He can't be alive
Who?
anymore.
Oh, Pine Top?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he's not alive. Tony Bennett went last year, right?
Yes. 95. Betty White also was 95 when she last won. I think she won for a comedy album of some sort.
That fucking shredding motherfucker, Zach Wilde.
I know it, right?
And then it's just so clean. And then rip. I wanted that Bullseye Gibson so bad when I was in high school. With the gun strap, the ammo strap he had. God,
I want to
that thing was so
interview him
cool.
just once while I'm recording.
Why? Just cause?
I thought I told you guys that story before.
No.
When I interviewed Zach Wilde and I wasn't recording.
Oh
No,
my
shut up.
I
God.
didn't tell you that before. I could have sworn I told
No.
you that fucking story.
You interviewed Zach
Oh,
Wilde
no.
and
It
didn't
was
record
a fucking
it?
terrible story. Move that microphone back a little bit. No, he was fucking came to Streeters
Okay.
to play a show.
Right.
Okay.
And I had to interview him on his tour bus. And Cartman, who was the program director, he's like, "All right, dude, here's what you do. You got what the fuck do we have? I think it was a phone setup.
Yeah.
Phone with a little box with a microphone. And I think this was probably 2012, 2013, somewhere around there. And we had a board op back in the radio station getting ready to take my call. He's like, "You want to go live?" I'm like, "I don't want to go live. You record the fucking thing, make sure it's good, and then air it.
Right.
I don't want to go live." "No, go live." All right. We go on a fucking tour bus, lost reception with his bullshit
Yeah.
cell phone fucking doing Skype. And I'm like, and I dropped out as I start talking to him. First of all, he's got the Yankee game on.
Yeah.
He's watching
Right.
fucking Family Guy and shit. He's totally cool. His other fucking band members are on there. And I'm totally nervous because I'm worried about this fucking Zoom. And like I sit down and start doing the shit and fucking I notice while he's talking, while we're doing the interview, that the fucking the Zoom drops out. I'm like, motherfucker. I'm thinking this to myself. Fuck. And I on the sly fucking call back to the Sheboygan office while I'm doing this interview. And then I see that it answers, and then I see that it dropped out again. And at that point, I didn't even know what to do, so I just completed the interview while I wasn't recording, because I'm like, I'm not going to ask Zach Wilde to fucking hang on. I got to connect back to the fucking studio, because dickhead fucking Cartman wants me to go live. And I lost that interview. It's the worst thing that ever happened to me.
So Smitty interviewed Zach Wilde just for himself.
Yep.
I love it.
Nope.
It was
love
a
it.
good conversation. It was a nice
Yeah.
icebreaker. Like,
No, it wasn't because I was so nervous the whole time and pissed off that the
Were you
fucking call went
sweating?
through and it was a terrible experience. Yeah, I was sweating.
I love everything about that. That's why we shipped Cartman off to Wisconsin.
Ozzy wrote a song about it. We're going to hear it in a second. Nothing feels right.
With Zach Wilde.
Yeah.
This is what was going
That
through
sounds like
Smitty's
a
head.
classic Ozzy song.
Yes, it
yeah,
does.
it does.
And that's why Zach
Time
Wilde.
after time.
Yep.
No, that was some other pop band in the 80s. Time after time.
That was Ozzy.
Cyndi Lauper actually.
Yeah.
That was Ozzy.
Cyndi Lauper.
Cyndi Lauper did Time After Time in the 80s.
So did Ozzy in the 90s. You know that song, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Total auto-tune right there.
Yeah, this one I can definitely hear the vocals being processed much more.
But I think it's intentional.
I also
I think they're doing
wonder.
it intentionally.
Right, I understand that, but I wonder how much Parkinson's allows him to sing too. Because the guy can barely speak right, let alone. I mean, don't get me wrong, singing is completely different, and you don't hear accents when people sing, and vocally you can
Right.
hear a lot of stuff
But the
more.
people that stutter can sing. They actually teach people
Correct.
that stutter to help get rid of the stutter to sing it in a singing delivery.
Right.
With a
Yeah.
cadence.
Correct.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's easy to believe that somebody who stutters a lot can sing.
Right.
You know.
But obviously Parkinson's controls a lot of speech and
Well, I think that just makes you shaky. So I mean, there could be a
And I
shakiness.
feel like even with like Alzheimer's and Parkinson's, that they do like music helps them to be able to connect and communicate better.
maybe that's how he communicates through his house.
Yeah, I mean,
Sings to Sharon.
Sharon, that's what he's
I
doing.
mean, he has his whole life, so why not?
Honestly, him yelling Sharon is the same thing as going, fucking, put those fucking cigarette lighters in the air.
Because like you can understand him so much better when he sings than when he talks.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
And he's way worse now than he
Oh, yeah.
was, years ago, even when he was doing the MTV show.
Yeah, the Osbournes.
Yeah.
Sharon.
That was my favorite. I
That
love
was a good
I
show.
loved it.
I mean, the thing was, he looked like he was ready to go then. And this was 2002, 2003, 2004.
But he's
And he's the
honestly,
same now.
he's looked like that since 1984, really.
And he walks around in those small
Have
steps.
you watched the show that he did with Jack Osbourne?
I've seen
Where
clips
they
of it.
traveled the United States and stuff?
I've seen clips of it too. Yeah, I never sat down to
Oh my
watch
gosh,
it.
it's so good. It's so good.
What's Kelly up to nowadays?
I don't know.
She popped out a kid or two.
Did she? Because I know she was
Yeah.
with E for a long time doing red carpet events, but
Yeah. Nope. She's like got her shit together, has a kid.
is Sharon retired? Because I know she's not on the talk anymore. She was on one of those talk shows.
I don't know.
I know
Probably
she's
taking
not
care
on
of
it.
Ozzy.
Probably.
Right.
I wonder if he was there to accept his Grammy. Should see that too.
They didn't do any of the rock
Oh,
stuff
did
on
they?
TV, so it's like,
No.
why bother?
Probably just got it in the mail.
Yeah.
Sharon, my Grammy.
Amazon took it by drone.
I think it would be better if it was a brown UPS truck. Pulled
What
up.
can Brown do for you? Deliver my Grammy.
Sharon signed for this.
Right.
Ooh, that's a fun little change up. This feels 80s too.
Woo.
Yep, Zach. Yeah, I'm sorry. I mean, the majority of my beautiful Ozziness, Zach is always going to be top for me. And I know I'll get a lot of shit from people, but I like Zach.
It's all nostalgia when you grew up. There's people that will say Randy Rhoads.
I
and they
mean,
would be
Randy
right
was so
too.
good, but I personally feel like Zach was just so much better for Ozzy than Randy was. Like the sound, like you can hear the differences in Randy and Zach hugely, but I just feel Zach matched Ozzy so much better.
And I feel like Zach also came alongside of Ozzy and has like, I don't
Right.
want to say propped him up, but like partnered with him well to help him continue to do what he's doing now.
It's two of those people, when you get them in the band, the chemistry is there. Like they just click.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it was perfect. Like, don't get me wrong, I love Randy, and I'm sure Zach takes a lot from Randy, but Zach
Sure.
just does it to I feel like a different tier.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm definitely of the opposite opinion. I definitely prefer
Randy?
Randy Rhoads' guitar and songwriting. He did a lot of great songwriting.
Oh, yeah,
too,
yeah.
They're both great equally, but I look at it like this: like Randy Rhoads, Eddie Van Halen heard Randy Rhoads and said, "Oh fuck, I gotta up my fucking game."
Right.
Right.
You know?
There
Right.
is that.
Yeah.
But a lot of, I mean, it's kind of a generational thing, too, because a lot of people, you'll say, was Zach Wilde, and they're
Right.
like, oh, shit.
And I'm saying if you heard Zach
Yeah.
Wilde playing in 1981,
Right,
you'd
yeah.
be like, "Oh shit."
like, who's that guy?
You know?
Yeah. 100. Get it from both sides. And again, a tribute to how long Ozzy's been playing music when you have some of the best guitarists ever in the world that
And he really
played
did
alongside of you.
recruit some of the best musicians too,
Oh,
at least
very
guitar
much.
players, you know.
yeah.
Evil Shuffle also featuring Zach Wilde.
This is the last one, was that? Ooh,
Sounds dirty.
that is Zach's signature. This sounds like a Zach Wilde album song. That's like that metal blues. Ooh, bassy. Ford F-150.
Honestly, I thought that was the album.
That's what it sounds like to me. It sounds like a truck commercial. GMC.
I'm trying to look at the personnel on this song.
Oof.
All right. I was like, that's pretty thunder. Rob Trujillo and Chad Smith are on this song.
Oh.
I don't know who Ali Tamposi is. I got to see that.
It makes sense on how these drums sound so good with this beat. Chad Smith is a goddamn jazz drum genius. And then they add organ just to screw with your mind. The fact that he can match Ozzy's voice at the same time with the guitar is sick.
And I feel like everybody compliments Ozzy. They don't like overpower
Correct.
him. They don't. And Ozzy doesn't overpower them. I feel like it's a really good, especially in this song, a good compliment.
Yes.
I did figure out that Ali Tamposi, she's got writing credits on each song, is a songwriter.
Okay.
So they did bring
Somebody-
her in
yeah.
to help songwriting as well. So
Right.
she's on every credit. I thought she was playing an instrument, but
Well, I mean, there are organs and stuff in there too, so I don't know if that's synth or if somebody's doing that too. I figured she might be a studio musician. Oh, that's old Ozzy. This is Chad Smith.
the drums, yeah.
Chad Smith aka the other Will Ferrell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chad's from Detroit.
Yeah.
Proud Detroiter.
He does. He talks shit to Ohio when it comes
Yeah.
time for the Michigan-Ohio State game.
Wears wing shit everywhere. Anthony Kiedis originally is from Grand Rapids.
Yeah.
Yep.
That change. There is some sort of shuffle to that. I love how it's called Evil Shuffle.
It does, yeah. That's had to be where they got the name.
Yeah. Bum, ba-bum, 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 ba-bum. Oof.
Now degradation rules also with Tony Iommi.
This was
Is
also,
this a better time than the is this a better time than the Mr. Bungle album?
oh
Yeah.
yeah.
No,
Mr.
actually,
Bungle was
no. It's different. I
It's
don't want
different.
to say better. It's different.
Mr. Bungle was interesting because like we said last time, it was like we didn't know which way we were going, man. That was the
Right.
guessing game. That was the fun part. And then the track that was normal, we were like, wait a second. We don't like that.
This isn't nearly as fucked up as it
Yeah.
should be.
Right.
Right on.
And then this was the next one was a single, Degradation.
Was it? Because I
Yes.
thought the other one was a single. So
He
maybe they...
had 4 singles off this album.
Oh, okay. I may have heard this on the radio then. God.
I don't know that I'm a fan of this one.
No, you don't know?
It's kind of bland for me.
Ooh. Hit him with the harmonica.
I think that is Ozzy. He plays harmonica.
Really?
Yeah. Played on NIB or The Wizard. Yeah, harmonica.
Did you say and tambourine?
No, but I wish.
See Ozzy in his black getup just walking around stage. Sharon!
There's one thing. Ozzy's going to be like, oh, I am not playing tambourine.
I want to see Ozzy with a cowbell.
He could fucking pull that off.
I don't know if he'd be
A
on
name
beat.
for Cowbell.
Yeah, I could definitely see this. This is actually one of my least favorite songs so far.
Yeah.
Which kind of stinks that Tony's on the Bland song. But
I know, right? It's a little. It's fine though. They all can't be winners.
I mean, when this song, which to be honest with you, on an Ozzy album, would be like, oh, this is a ripper, but this album's so good that this is the least favorite song. I mean, that's
Right.
good on Ozzy.
Right.
It's a fun little spot. Yeah, these repetitive verses are getting old
Yeah.
in this one. Ooh, that drum fill was nasty though. The triplets.
I'm feeling that way pretty much about this whole album. Where
Well,
I'm just, the whole thing, there's nothing really grabbing me.
Yeah.
I haven't had, and I think it is a byproduct of me just being too critical of it, probably. But I keep looking for some sort of like groove to grab me. If there's a couple cool parts here and there, actually, there's a lot of cool parts here and there. But
Right.
there's nothing that really just leap out at me and be like, okay, that was a cool lyric, or that was even
Right.
the solos. I'm just like, it
It's all
just
the s-
it sounds like another Ozzy
Ozzy
song.
album, right.
If you had somebody say, I want to make a song that sounds like Ozzy, like this is almost like you said,
somebody's.
It's a tribute album.
Yeah.
It's his own tribute album in a way.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Because he has a bunch of people that are playing Ozzy sounds.
Yeah.
I do like the Eric Clapton song. I feel like that is my absolute highlight.
And I will say the Clapton song was definitely not Ozzy
right.
heavy.
It was, right. Okay, so now we're getting into my.
Who plays drums on this?
Well. I don't know. That is not listed on here.
Okay.
Who's playing drums? Man, that sounds like an 80s, like,
I wonder if these last 3 songs were ones that they had. Because this sounds almost completely different. It doesn't even sound produced the same. Yes, this sounds older. See, this sounds like
Are we on
early 90s Ozzy. What was that?
it sounds like, it
We're
sounds,
on to Dead and Gone now.
Yeah, Dead and Gone.
Dead and Gone, yeah. It sounds like an 80s
Yeah.
Journey, like, what's that fucking Journey song? Is it Separate Ways? Maybe. It sounds like it could be in the Journey 80s category to me.
But that guitar was so muddied, it sounds like an 80s distortion.
It sounds like it could be on Miami Vice.
It does.
That's
it
the
actually
one.
is. Yes.
That's the one. It actually
You're
is on
welcome,
Miami Vice. It actually is on Miami Vice.
See, this sounds older. Who's that singing behind him? There's a lady in the back that's trying to sound like Ozzy. That was weird. See, this is a different song. I guarantee you these songs have to be older, that they've unvaulted or something. The quality is
Possible.
not the quality is not the same as the rest of the album,
No, I agree.
and it just has this old sound to it. Like the guitar, like you can hear him going heavy on the guitar, but it sounds like it's so deep in the room.
Right. It sounds like the Tina Turner like wall of sound type of.
Right.
That's what I'm saying when I'm thinking the 80s.
Right.
Like it sounds like an 80s produced
I'm
sort of
So
sort
I'm
of
wondering if
ballad
this is like
that.
a B track or a track off of one of those albums that just didn't make it.
I don't think so. I just think that that's the way they produced it in here because they wanted it to
It's
sound
so
like that.
different than from the rest of the album, though.
Yeah, I mean, it's
To
not,
me, this is the worst song I've heard. Now I understand why only 988,000 listened to it.
see that's the thing. I don't want to say that this is better than the ones I've heard so far, but this is definitely one of the more interesting
Really?
sort of listens. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a female singing behind him. And she's trying to sound just like Ozzy. All right, ma'am, you're going to
Well,
have to
it
come
makes
in.
sense.
and-
You got to match the vocal, right?
All right, ma'am, listen, you're going to have to come in and sound just like Ozzy. Sharon! Yeah, this is. I gotta know.
don't see any backing vocal credits.
Ah, Lemmy.
Lemmy's like, hello, I am the star of the show.
Hello, friend.
Can I interest you in some Motorhead?
Video poker. I don't know.
Sitting on Calvin and Hobbes.
Wants to include himself.
Absolutely, as he should.
There's an ambient quality to this.
So this was written by Chad Smith, John Osbourne, Robert Trujillo, and Andrew
John
Watman.
Osbourne is Ozzy.
Oh, is it? That's his name?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I thought it was Ozzy. Oswald.
John Osbourne. Huh. And who though?
Alexandra Tamposi, and then Robert Trujillo and Andrew Watman. But this just sounds so different. It's almost like they didn't finish it.
Yes, actually. I wish they would have kept that section going for a little while longer before they closed it out. I feel like that was the most interesting song to me so far on this album.
Go. We have two more.
Are you yelling at me?
Yes.
I am. Yeah, actually, I am. We have two more.
Fine, December. God only knows when we're going to be over with this album reaction.
I feel like this is like classic Ozzy.
Really? Ozzy Osbourne recorded a whole album with rock legend Steve Vai, and it is currently sitting on a shelf.
I saw that yesterday, actually.
The Grammy-winning musician, producer, and songwriter has revealed that he and 74-year-old Black Sabbath frontman, who recently announced his retirement from touring due to debilitating health issues, recorded some pretty good stuff, but has no control over whether or not music will be released.
Yeah, I read that the other day when I was doing my laundry. He's like, yeah, we recorded this thing, but record companies wouldn't let us put it out. It was like 95 when Osmosis came out,
Yeah.
and he recorded a track on Osmosis for Ozzy, and then he's like, yeah, we just got carried away. We fucking wrote a whole album. Nobody will ever hear it.
Says, he's like, oh, Vi said, while I'm sitting on a whole Ozzy record, it's like the Gash record. Not like the Gash record, but its project and I recorded is sitting on a shelf. Don't have any control over its rights to it, obviously, but we did record some pretty good stuff.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's like,
that's bullshit.
first of all, I really like this song. I think this might be my favorite.
I'm sorry, these last two.
No, I really do like this song.
Very good. I like it.
But it's like there's this legendary, like, rock urban legend that there's this lost recording session that features like half of Zeppelin and half of Sabbath. It's like Tony Iommi and Geezer Butler and like John Bonham and fucking John Paul Jones, yeah, or something like that. And I guess there's just like played for like 3 or 4 hours and recorded, and nobody's ever gonna fucking hear it. It's a shame. It's a crime.
God.
Can you imagine? If
No.
like,
Yeah.
you had these guys,
People.
you had these guys record, and they're like, just sat on the shelf, and
Yeah.
then like never came back,
What
never
is
got
wrong
it.
with- that's like someone creating the best chicken soup recipe ever, and then they're just like,
But never giving it to anybody.
suffer.
I do that all the time. I do that all the time. Whenever I make cheesy scrambled eggs, I'm always like this far from just posting and being like, "Ha ha! You just missed out on the greatest cheesy egg recipe of all time, but you're never gonna know because I'm not gonna fucking tell you."
Right.
Same thing.
Sprinkled cheese on it.
I like making beer, and I'm like, hey, I made a great beer. You should come try it somewhere, sometime.
But I can never taste it because I can't drink beer. My name is December, and I have a gluten allergy.
And I can't. Rumor has it it's really good, but I don't know because I can't drink it.
I'm a beer scientist, but I can't drink it. I'm really good.
I
Sorry,
like this
man.
song.
11 and 12 are not on my radar.
I like this song the best, I think.
Yeah.
It's laid back, it's chill, it's got a fucking cool vibe to it.
Should have stopped after 10.
I don't think so.
Lyrically, it's great.
I mean, this whole album's great, but 11, 12, I'm assuming 13. I don't like these versions. There's something about the quality as compared to the other ones. Maybe they were pulling stuff out because there was other features, but the 1 through 10 just sounded so much better to my earballs than these last two. I do like this part, though.
I'm really interested to see what's going to happen with the last song. It's not even 2 minutes. And it does have Ozzy on a harmonica. Spoiler alert.
Oh, man, you ruined it.
You ruined it already with your naysaying.
Okay, mister. It took 11 tracks. I can't like anything because I just have too much. I want it to fail. Oh, 11's good.
I didn't say I wanted it to fail. That's not what I said.
Too critical.
I admitted it, though. All right? There's something to be said for admission. Something to be said for admission.
Sorry, Lemmy. I'm sorry, Lemmy. Did you want a beer?
He tries every once in a while.
Saying no, just leave me alone.
Now, Dark Side Blues.
Oh, I thought
Last song on the album.
Dark Side of the Moon?
Man, you guys want to listen to that album?
Can we watch Wizard of Oz while we
What
do
do you
it?
do that voice for? Do you hate Pink Floyd?
No, shut up. No, I'm listening to Dark Side Blues, like the harmonica. It's really good.
Oh, she's listening to it because she can't hear it through the
Oh,
computer.
she's listening on her end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
It's kind of good. Like, really good.
This is actually really good. Ozzy getting into that swamp blues. I always liked that steel guitar, man.
There was a band that played at Workshop on Saturday that was fantastic.
Really?
They had slide guitar. Oh my god, it was so good.
Is that Ozzy?
I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out. Yeah, that's Ozzy.
They just make it sound like he's on a tube, like an old radio.
Sounds like an old blues song.
It sounds like old blues vinyl.
This is honestly one of the most Black Sabbath songs that Ozzy has done solo ever.
It's so good.
That's good. I like that. See, I didn't like 11 and 12. 13? Yeah, I'll take 13.
This might be my favorite.
Yeah.
What is it with favorite songs being the end of the albums today?
Gets me right here. Right in the feels.
Man, what a
The
closer.
crazy train's coming to an end.
What a closer.
That's what it is. The crazy train's coming to an end.
Shut up.
That might be my highlight. If not, God Only
absolutely.
Knows is the next one, I think. Because I feel the opposite way that you feel.
No, I'm the other way.
I feel the opposite way. Because though, honestly, I don't know if I was being too critical. I don't know if I was expecting too much. I don't know what the fuck I was expecting. But pretty much all of those songs that had guest appearances by anybody came off as fairly mediocre to me.
Oof.
You know, there was nothing.
Eric Clapton was not mediocre.
There was some parts that I liked, but like
Uh.
lyrically, nothing grabbed me. It seemed fairly mediocre
I mean,
lyrically.
but the thing is, lyrically, nothing ever grabs you from Ozzy. He's not known
I mean,
for
you're
being
not
a lyricist.
100% wrong, but there has been moments before. But there's nothing lyrically that I'm like, that's dumb. You know?
I see. I liked 1 through 10 because, like I mentioned before, it's like he's doing an homage to Ozzy with other people. But it was cool to hear Jeff Beck with Ozzy. It was cool to hear Mike McCready with Ozzy. It was cool to hear Clapton with
I
Ozzy.
appreciated that.
It was cool to have Zakk Wylde back with Ozzy because
Yeah.
Zakk Wylde hasn't been with Ozzy in a long time. It was cool to have these other artists, Chad Smith, Rob from Metallica, playing with Ozzy to get that sound. And to me, it was cool to see how it worked. I'm not going to listen to these songs and be like, oh, it's my favorite song ever. But it was cool to have those, like, different tiers of rock come in and play with Ozzy, you know? And having Ozzy play, you know, I see what they did with the last 3 songs. I'm assuming those are probably the majority of Ozzy's stuff that he made himself. And not to mention that last one. I really like that last song. But with everybody, like, Clapton, like I never thought I'd hear Clapton on a Ozzy album.
I appreciated it.
Yeah.
Like, but you know, and I think I just wanted too much. I wanted it to be better than what I thought it was. It's definitely worse. It'd be one of those times where I'm going to re-listen to an album.
See, I think you and I came into it different, though. I came into it thinking I'm not going to like anything because it's Ozzy Osbourne and he's 74 years old.
I mean, no, that's honesty, though.
Right. I mean, to be honest with you, once you get to a certain age, it's like, okay, what is he going to present now? Like, I mean, it's nothing against Ozzy, but it's like, how much can you do? Or like, I mean, to be fair, his last few albums weren't the best.
Well, I didn't really care for the last one.
I mean,
I can't
it's
say I
not
care
No
for
More
this one
Tears.
that much more.
It's not Ozzy of old, and it's never going to be Ozzy of old ever again. Like you just have to face that. You have to face the music. This album was tremendous. When he had Zakk on, there was instances where I'm taken right back to those records when Zakk was ripping, right next to Ozzy. And then there was times when Tony was on there ripping, and it was like we're back in the mid '80s ripping. Like there was certain distinct parts that I found this more of a nostalgia piece than I did as a new piece, which I enjoyed more than the other stuff at the bottom.
Right on.
But it was great. I loved it. I can understand why they gave it a Grammy.
How many thumbs?
As many as I got.
I give it 1.5.
What?